Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Don Shade.
Hello, my friend and future millionaire. Welcome to this episode of the Money Wheel. My name is Don Shade. You know, in the last episode, we talked about what if you could do it over again? What if you could have made a different choice? Back when you were senior in high school or just getting out of college, you made decisions that were a whole life career plan. And now some of you wish you'd have made a different decision. And your online business will allow you to have the freedom to make those kind of choices. The next step that I want to look at, and I want you to start thinking about, is what is your relationship with money? You know, when I was a kid, my dad was self-employed and my mother was a stay-at-home housewife. And every day when my dad got home from work, we had dinner as a family. And we had a lot of conversations around the dinner table. And it wasn't that money was an off-limits subject or anything like that. We had those conversations. I was very fortunate to everything was pretty much an open conversation. But maybe you come from a family where money wasn't really discussed. And you know, when you look back on it, you're somebody that, okay, your parents may have taught you about money or maybe they didn't. You just kind of learned on your own. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody is here to tell you how to spend your money or what to do with it. But let me ask you this, for the money you're making, are you where you want to be in life? Or if you had it to do over again, would you have made some different decisions? You know, as part of the Money Mastery course, I'm putting together a bonus course that I think I'm going to give away, and it has to do with money mastery for teens. And the reason I'm putting this together is if you're somebody that didn't get educated on money by your parents or in school, whatever the situation is, you need to learn how to handle money before you get too far down the road in life. Because what happens is this. I made decisions in my early 20s that fit me at the time. In other words, I went out and I bought a new car and different stuff like that, and I got a credit card. Next thing you know, I got another credit card in the mail because I made a few payments on that one and they realized that I was going to have a good payment history. First thing you know, I had 3 or 4 credit cards and I really wasn't looking at getting out of debt. I was just kind of building the lifestyle that my parents had. Here's the issue with that. It took your parents years to build that lifestyle where you did it in, let's say, a year because you used credit. You know, I remember my dad telling me that back when he started in business, there were no credit cards. You had to run your business differently because you needed the cash to make it happen. You know, the reason people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s struggle with money is because the actions that they do on a day-to-day basis never match their long-term goals. And that's something I want you to think about. And be honest with yourself about your relationship with money. Are you good with it? Could you use some improvement? Are you somebody that's behind the 8 ball because of some previous decisions that you made? You know, I said about putting together the Money Mastery for teens, and I'll grant you, a lot of them are not going to listen to that. Because as a teenager, you knew everything. It wasn't until later on in your life that you realized a lot of the stuff that your parents were telling you actually did make sense, and I should have listened to it a few years sooner. But with all that being said, my goal with this Money Mastery for Teens is to catch them before they go out and make a lot of the life mistakes that we made. Because one of the reasons now that it takes so long for me to put together the $1 Million Roadmap with you is because we have to take care of the mistakes you've already made and some of the financial decisions that you've made that are going to take some time to bail out of. You know, the new cars that you bought and the credit cards that you ran up that you can't even remember what you bought on them. You've had a balance on a credit card for so long that you have no idea the purchases you made. That stuff is long gone. That's the kind of thing that we're looking to change here. We're looking to change your relationship with money, how you look at it moving forward, and the way we spend it towards building wealth and creating you a business that's going to give you and your family the lifestyle you're looking to live. That's everything I have for this episode of The Money Wheel. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.